Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Feng Shen. I, Yang Jian, the first apprentice of 3 generations of elucidation, crossing the world of Fengshen and becoming the Erlang God Yang Jian.Joining the sect of hermeneutics, awakening the golden finger traveling frog, and gaining the inheritance of the double eyes at the beginning. Ding. Frog boy returned from his trip and brought back the Pangu Divine Axe. Ding. The frog cub returned from his travels and brought back the method of transforming himself into a free world. Ding. The frog cub has returned from his trip and brought it back. Relying on the treasure brought back by the little frog, Yang Jian rose up step by step in the vast world, and finally found himself invincible in the world. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Travel Frog Returns. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yuchuan Mountain. Xianxia Cave. A place full of spiritual energy from heaven and earth. A young man sat cross-legged. Boom. A breath erupted from him. 3 years. Finally, I have reached the stage of practicing the void harmony Tao, and I am only 1 step away from being able to transform into an immortal. The boy opened his eyes and exhaled a trace of white air from his mouth. Youth, named Qianyang. But this is the name of his past life, and in this life his name is Yang Jian. That's right. It is the famous Erlang God Yang Jian in mythology. 3 years ago, Qianyang was climbing the Kunlun mountains when he accidentally fell off a cliff. When he opened his eyes and woke up, he discovered that he had traveled to a world of chaos and had become the famous Erlang God Yang Jian. You have broken through again, disciple. Just as Yang Jian was happy about his breakthrough, suddenly a middle-aged cultivator wearing a Taoist robe appeared in front of him. Master. Yang Jian saw the appearance of the middle-aged cultivator and quickly stood up to salute. This person was his master, the Jade Immortal. Yuding Immortal. One of the 12 golden immortals of Taoism. His cultivation level is also among the top among the 12 golden immortals. I'm just lucky, all of this is the rich spiritual blessing of the master's dojo, Yang Jian said to the Jade Immortal. You kid. Upon hearing Yang Jian's flattery, Yuding Immortal was naturally happy, but his words were not wrong. His Taoist temple, Yuchuan Mountain, could also enter the top 100 in the vast world. However, the Jade Immortal also had to admit that Yang Jian's talent was truly powerful. In 3 years, he went from being a mortal to a cultivator of the same path, only 1 step away from entering the immortal realm. In the vast world, cultivation can be divided into refining essence and transforming qi, refining qi and transforming spirit, refining spirit to return to emptiness, and refining emptiness to merge with the Tao. This is the mortal realm. After merging, one must cross the tribulation and become an immortal, divided into Di Xian, Tian Xian, Zhen Xian, Xian Xian, Jin Xian, Tai Yi Jin Xian, De Luo Jin Xian, Zhuan Sheng, Han Yuan. By the way, I'll give you this pill. The Jade Immortal waved a pill with his big hand and it appeared, containing a powerful aura. Yang Jian looked at the pill that appeared in the hand of the Jade Immortal and felt the aura contained within it, naturally realizing that this pill was extraordinary. I obtained this from your Xuandu master, said Yuding to Yang Jian. Xuandu. The only disciple of the supreme sage. Upon hearing these words, Yang Jian felt a warmth in his heart. Then, the Jade Immortal left. Ding. Your little frog has returned from his trip. Your little frog has brought you back the treasure. At this moment. Suddenly, a voice rang out in Yang Jian's mind. What? My little frog has returned. I don't know what little frog can bring back to me this time. Yang Jian exclaimed in surprise. The little frog is his golden finger. His golden finger is a small game he once played called Travel Frog. The gameplay is very simple. Start with a small frog and prepare luggage for the frog, which can include bento, props, and amulets. After everything is ready, the little frog will go on a trip. During the journey of Little Frog, he will occasionally send back travel photos and bring back special products and souvenirs from the journey as gifts. It can be said that this is a very simple little game. But now, this game has undergone a significant transformation. Although the basic gameplay has not changed, the location where Little Frog travels has become a dimensional world of various anime, movies, and novels. That is to say, the gift brought back by the Little Frog will be a product of various dimensional worlds. And most importantly, Yang Jian can use these things. Yang Jian was able to step into the current realm in 3 years, and what he tested was the treasure brought to him by the Little Frog's repeated travels. I don't know what treasure the Little Frog can bring back this time. Yang Jian thought of it, then checked into the treasure trove and saw a treasure appearing inside. What? Yang Jian was shocked when he saw the information prompted by the system. He never expected his Little Frog to bring back such a treasure. Chapter 2. Perfect World, Inheritance of Double Eyes. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Double Eyes Inheritance. Yang Jian was shocked as he looked at the treasures appearing in the treasure trove. At the same time, a wave of information quickly flashed into my mind. The inheritance of double pupils comes from the perfect world of Shi. To see through all the emptiness and reality in the world, any spell that enters the eye will be able to do so. With the blessing of time and space laws, it is incredibly powerful. Looking at the pile of introductions that followed, Yang Jian had no intention of reading them, and he was still in great shock at the moment. Double pupils are invincible, why borrow someone else's bones? Yang Jian is no stranger to the second protagonist Shi, who is undoubtedly the perfect world. At the time of his birth, Shi was born as an ancient sage who was baptized by the heavenly descent and praised by the world as a born saint. And Shi, on the other hand, was born with a built-in cheat and was born with double pupils. Double pupils, also known as fairy pupils. Within a pair of pupils, symbols are densely packed and mysterious. This double pupil not only can break through all the reality and emptiness in the world, but also possesses the divine power that can be seen at first glance. Moreover, he possessed the divine power that shocked the heavens. With this heavy pupil, Shi once killed the immortal king with a shudder. Relying on the power of the double eyes god, one has just entered the realm of the immortal king and can face the fallen immortal kings alone. Finally, they were successfully killed. Such divine power, even if it is the natural supreme bone transplanted by Shi, cannot compare to the divine power of this destiny. Double pupils are invincible, why take someone else's bones again? This sentence is enough to prove the infinite possibilities of Shi, a double-eyed person, and his cultivation talent is far higher than that of the person who loves to drink animal milk. Unfortunately, as both immortal king giants, the time when the double-eyed girl found Shi was far later than when Lucian met Shi. Otherwise, Shi with heavy pupils would not have taken the wrong path. As long as you focus on cultivating the talent skill of double eyes, the outcome is still unknown when facing off against the one who loves to drink animal milk the most in the lower realm of the void god realm. Even Shi has to admit multiple times that the only person who can rival him is Shi. If it weren't for the fact that when Shi and Shi dueled, they used the supreme bone that originally belonged to Shi and encountered a backlash. Who was stronger or weaker, who would win and who would lose, it's really possible. I never imagined that this time, the little frog could bring back such a powerful inheritance. Yang Jian was both shocked and overjoyed. This kind of divine ability is perfect for the god Erlang, who will have 3 eyes in the future. Extract. Pressing down his excited mood, Yang Jian quickly ordered to extract the inheritance of this heavy pupil. Ding! Congratulations, Master. The extraction of double pupils has been successfully inherited and we have started seamless connection for you. Please wait. The sound of the system rings again. In an instant, Yang Jian felt a commotion in the void before him, and a huge energy appeared in the void, surging towards him. Yang Jian was not afraid, but instead strode forward towards the immense energy. In an instant, the enormous energy tightly surrounded Yang Jian. Yang Jian was immersed in the immense energy, and an incredibly powerful force flooded into his body. Yang Jian felt an unprecedented sense of comfort all over his body, with a sense of rebirth and transformation. Ding! Congratulations to the master for successfully integrating the inheritance of double pupils. As the sound of this system sounded, Yang Jian knew that he had successfully integrated the inheritance of this heavy pupil and turned it into his own thing. Yang Jian immediately felt the change in himself. Suddenly, a golden light shone in both eyes, and within the reach of the eyes, everything was completely new. Although he had not yet reached the point where he could see through everything in the world as legendary, it had already allowed Yang Jian to see more. Very good, as long as you continue to cultivate, sooner or later there will be a day when the path of double eyes invincible will come. Yang Jian was overjoyed and immediately pressed down his excited mood to start practicing seriously. Practice knows no time, but 10 years pass by in a blink of an eye. On this day, a breath descended upon Yuchuan Mountain. Yuding senior brother, don't be safe. Seeing no one, first hear their voice, and a loud voice resounds through Yuchuan Mountain. Upon hearing this voice, the Jade Immortal was overjoyed and quickly flew out, landing beside the person. Junior brother Tai, long time no see. The Jade Immortal bowed deeply to the person who came, showing utmost respect. The person who came was Tai Jinren, a disciple of the Yuanshi Heavenly Lord, and one of the 12 Golden Immortals. Their strength is on par with that of the Jade Immortal, and they are usually quite good. It's been a while since we last saw each other. Can I come and see you when I have time? Tai Jinren helped Yuding Jinren up and responded. Junior brother, do you think I'm fake? I'm afraid you still want to argue with me, right? Yuding Jinren spoke up and said that with his friendship, he naturally didn't have to compromise with Tai Jinren. Huh, senior brother really knows me. Tai Jinren laughed heartily, not only not angry, but also quite happy. However, when I'm here today, besides discussing with you, I also want to meet my nephew. I heard that you recently accepted a disciple, how about it? Do you dare to take it out and take a look? Tai Jinren had a curious expression on his face. The Jade Tripod had always liked tranquility, but now that he has taken in a disciple, he is really curious about how this disciple attracted him. Okay, junior brother, come with me. Yuding Jinren remembered his disciple who was still in seclusion, and a proud expression appeared on his face. In just 3 years, he went from being immortal to becoming a harmonious being, and was one step away from becoming an immortal. This is something worth boasting about no matter when it is placed. Since Tai Jinren spoke up, how could Yuding Jinren miss such a good opportunity to show off? At present, he also took Tai Jinren and headed directly towards Yang Jian's secluded place. Chapter 3 Senior Brother, you really received a good one. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Yuding Immortal led the way first and led Tai Immortal towards Yang Jian's secluded place. Junior brother, let me tell you, my disciple is truly a stunning figure. Yuding kept showing off while walking, and extended 3 fingers as he spoke. 3 years, it's just 3 years. Yang Jian has already refined the void combining Tao, almost becoming an immortal. I just want to ask, where else can you see such a powerful genius? Tai Jinren was amazed to hear this unseen nephew is really surprising. However, seeing the proud appearance of Yuding Immortal, Tai Immortal couldn't help but argue. When your mouth opens and closes, you say what you say. Who believes it? Unless I see him become an immortal today, I still don't quite believe him. As soon as the words fell, they were still waiting for the Jade Ding Immortal to refute something. Suddenly, a heavenly calamity descended upon this place, with immense pressure and strength. This is the heavenly robbery of becoming immortal. Tai Zhenren was shocked when he saw the arrival of this heavenly calamity and immediately recognized its origin. No, I just casually said, does this nephew really want to become an immortal in person and fulfill the words of Master Yuding? How could it be so fast? Yuding Immortal was also extremely surprised, staring blankly at the impending calamity. As a disciple, Yang Jian is going to become an immortal today. How long has it been? Although Yang Jian practiced the Void Harmony Tao for 3 years, it is still a mortal realm, and a faster speed is acceptable. But today, Yang Jian is about to become an immortal. Yang Jian's cultivation time, combined before and after, is just over a decade. Surprisingly, he is about to cross the tribulation and become an immortal. Even if Yuding Zhenren had confidence in Yang Jian, he had set 100-year expectation for him to become an immortal in his heart. I didn't expect Yang Jian to be so unexpected. It's only been a decade, and he's about to cross the tribulation and become an immortal. The heavenly calamity descended brilliantly and descended on the Yuchuan mountain, heading all the way to the place where Yang Jian was locked up. At this moment, in the midst of the heavenly calamity, Yang Jian also woke up and opened his eyes. Is it a heavenly calamity? Yang Jian looked up at the sky, where countless black clouds gathered and a faint thunder flickered in it, emitting a powerful aura. He had a clear understanding in his heart, knowing that this moment and this place were the time when he became an immortal. Heavenly calamity. Yang Jian watched as the thunder, as thick and thin as a bucket, descended, and his heart was filled with war, so he couldn't help but drink loudly. Come on! Yang Jian roared angrily, facing the dazzling calamity that had fallen. Not only did he not have any fear, but he directly rose up into the sky. What about the heavenly calamity? Today, Yang Jian is going to break the heavenly calamity and achieve immortality. In the distance, Tai Immortal and Yuding Immortal had already stopped because Yang Jian had summoned a heavenly calamity. They are not only unable to help Yang Jian at this moment, but also making the calamity even more severe, directly making Yang Jian unable to bear it. At this moment, seeing Yang Jian rise up to fight against the heavenly calamity, Tai Zhenren was amazed. Senior brother, are you too fierce as a disciple? The Tai Immortal watched Yang Jian soar into the sky and fight against the heavenly calamity, feeling it was truly unbelievable. They are very careful when crossing tribulations, preparing a bunch of magic treasures and elixirs, as well as a bunch of martial uncles and uncles to hold the ground. Even so, they are still obedient, fearing that they may accidentally fall into the heavenly calamity. This is simply not good at all. It means ignoring the situation and resisting the calamity. It's really a bit fierce. Yuding Zhenren also had a surprised expression on his face. Normally, Yang Jian was gentle and polite, and it was hard to tell that he was such a passionate person. I don't know, what kind of calamity can Yang Jian overcome? Xianxia can be divided into numbers of 39, 69, and 99. It's not surprising that it's usually the 3 or 9 calamities. Those with better talents can bring about the 6 or 9 heavenly calamities, and the future path can also go further. The 9 heavenly calamities, only those with extremely strong talents can be recruited. Although the 9 heavenly robbery is incredibly powerful, it is extremely dangerous when crossing the calamity. However, as long as you overcome these 9 calamities, you will definitely be able to become a golden immortal in the future. I think Yang Jian's nephew must have that number of 69 no matter what. Tai Immortal watched Yang Jian cross the tribulation, with no danger along the way. At this moment, he also spoke up. Yuding Immortal nodded. With such a powerful talent from his own disciple, 69 should be the most basic. It is not impossible to even hope for 99. In this way, Yang Jian, relying on his own bravery, directly resisted the heavenly calamity and quickly surpassed the number of 30.9. Tai Immortal and Yuding Immortal had anticipated that Yang Jian's talent in overcoming the 6 or 9 heavenly calamities was a natural thing. However, the more they looked at each other, the more it became out of place. Wait, Yuding, I just forgot to count. How much is it now? It's already past the limit of 6 or 9, and now it's the 9 heavenly calamity. Yuding Immortal had a nervous expression on his face, staring intently at the 9 heavenly calamities in the sky, with an extremely solemn expression. Upon hearing this, Tai Zhenren was greatly surprised and also looked up at the sky. At this moment, the two of them were breathing rapidly and extremely nervous. Senior brother, you really have taken in a good disciple. At this moment, Tai Zhenren is also convinced and does not hesitate to praise Yang Jian's talent. Chapter 4 Kunlun Mountain, Who is Crossing the Robbery. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Tai Zhenren spoke up and praised like this. If only just now, Yuding Zhenren would still be full of pride. However, at this moment, the 9 heavenly calamities are condensed and filled with a sense of destruction. Even the Jade Immortal felt immense pressure, so he had no time to care about anything else. His gaze now fell on his disciple Yang Jian. Tai Zhenren didn't pay attention, and after a moment of sincere emotion, he also turned his gaze to Yang Jian. Yang Jian's talent is beyond doubt. Now let's take a look at how this martial nephew can overcome this 9 heavenly calamities and successfully become an immortal. Yang Jian's attitude towards this is to use his strength to break through tribulations, regardless of what kind of situation he has. As long as he is strong enough, he can break through it with one go. Yang Jian repeated his old skills, facing the dazzling 9 heavenly calamities that had fallen, he still stepped forward without giving in. Seeing that Yang Jian was still brave, both Yuding Zhenren and Tai Zhenren quietly breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that we are worried for nothing. Yang Jian's skills far exceed our expectations. Haha, that's right. Yang Jian's nephew is truly amazing, and I have to obey him. Yuding Immortal and Tai Immortal relaxed, and the hanging heart finally landed. Good Yang Jian, but seeing him exerting all his strength to unleash his abilities, he bravely stepped forward to fight against the heavenly calamity. He was full of fighting spirit and exuded a powerful aura. Faced with the terrifying 9 heavenly calamities, he was not afraid at all. Under the gaze of Immortal Yuding and Immortal Tai, successive heavenly tribulations fell and were scattered by Yang Jian one after another, directly disappearing into ashes. In just a moment, Yang Jian had already overcome the 9 heavenly calamities. At this moment, Yang Jian's clothes were shattered and his whole body was pitch black, and his figure was also shaky. Even with such a disheveled appearance, he still stood tall and stood there, showing an incredibly happy smile. Congratulations, senior brother. Yang Jian, your nephew, has crossed the 9 heavenly calamities this time. He is truly a genius without a single one. Tai Zhenren admires Yang Jian greatly, and also admires the gaze of Yuding Zhenren's disciple. However, upon hearing this congratulations, Yuding Zhenren not only did not feel any joy, but his face became solemn. No. No, the 99 heavenly calamity has already disappeared. Why hasn't the feedback power of the heavenly way come? Upon hearing this, Tai Zhenren was also shocked. After overcoming the calamity, the feedback from the heavenly way will inevitably come, helping cultivators stabilize their realm. Now that Yang Jian has overcome the 9 heavenly calamities, he has not yet received the feedback from the heavenly Tao. Isn't that to say, purple sky calamity? Yuding Immortal and Tai Immortal looked at each other and both exclaimed in surprise. As soon as the words fell, a strange image suddenly appeared in the sky. The sky calamity thunderstorm that was just about to dissipate suddenly gathered and quickly converged into a huge cloud cluster in the sky. Countless thunderbolts ran and roared, astonishing. It's really the purple sky disaster. What? It's really a heavenly punishment. Yuding Immortal and Tai Immortal were shocked, with incredible expressions on their faces. Above the 9 heavenly robbery, there is a more advanced existence called the purple sky robbery. However, the Xiao heavenly robbery has always existed in legends since Hongjun established the heavenly robbery. For millions of years, no one has been able to trigger the purple sky thunder among all beings in the wilderness. At this moment, the purple sky calamity was unexpectedly triggered by Yang Jian and appeared for the first time in the wilderness. This is unprecedented. So, not only were Yuding Zhenren and Tai Zhenren so shocked that they couldn't believe it, but many of the preaching disciples on Kunlun mountain were also instantly startled, looking up at the unprecedented purple sky calamity. In no time, the other members of the 12 golden immortals had all landed on Yuchuan mountain together. Farewell to all senior brothers. Yuding Zhenren and Tai Zhenren quickly bowed and met. Don't mess around with this, it's not the time to say this now. Yuding, what's going on? How did Yuchuan mountain attract the purple sky robbery? Yeah, that's the person who triggered the purple sky robbery. Who is it? Without considering so many formalities, everyone looked at the seemingly insignificant evil sample under the purple sky calamity and eagerly asked. As the owner of Yuchuan mountain, Yuding Immortal is his dojo, and no one can be more aware of what is happening here than him. Yuding Immortal still had a shocked expression on his face and spoke in a daze. That's Yang Jian, he is my disciple. Your disciple. The other people of the 12 golden immortals were all amazed. When did this jade cauldron receive such a disciple of the heavenly zone wonder? The existence of the purple sky thunder can trigger it, this is the first time in thousands of years, a groundbreaking event. This purple sky god thunder is now in the world, incredibly stunning. Not to mention being a disciple of preaching on the Kunlun mountains, many places have also sensed it. After all, this is the first time that the purple sky divine thunder has appeared in the world after Emperor Hongjun set the heavenly calamity, and its significance is extraordinary. Countless powerful ancestors were shocked to find such a genius. Following that induction, the divine consciousness came towards Yunquan mountain together. However, upon discovering that this was Kunlun mountain, they dared not delve deeper. After all, Kunlun mountain is where the Jade Void Palace is located, and it is the dojo of Yuanshi Tianzuan. Chapter 5. This sun is truly a demon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Upon hearing that the person who crossed the tribulation was Yang Jian, the disciple of the Jade Ding Immortal, the rest of the 12 golden immortals were amazed. This is actually a disciple of junior brother Yuding. His talent is really amazing. Such exceptional talent is truly a rare genius that has been seen for millions of years. Yuding junior brother, how fortunate you are. They were constantly amazed. After all, this purple sky thunder was the first time it had been triggered today. The talent of Yang Jian to trigger the purple sky thunder is beyond doubt. For a moment, their gaze towards Yang Jian was full of admiration, and they looked at the Jade Ding Immortal with envy. I don't know what luck this Jade Ding Immortal has had in being able to bring in such a talented person. Yuding Immortal couldn't close his mouth with a smile, and now Yang Jian has grown a good face for himself. However, then there was some concern. Senior brothers and sisters, this is not the time for casual conversation. Let's see how Yang Jian can overcome this purple sky calamity. Everyone also nodded repeatedly, looking at Yang Jian with a serious expression. After all, this Xiao heavenly robbery is still the first time it has appeared in the wilderness, and there are no relevant examples to refer to, so they cannot help but worry. The Xiao heavenly robbery is divided into 9 paths, with one path being stronger than the other. At this moment, the Xiao heavenly calamity had already been brewing and fell straight down towards Yang Jian below. Come on. Let's have another big battle. Faced with the overwhelming power that destroyed heaven and earth, Yang Jian remained fearless and stepped forward. Boom! Yang Jian collided with Xianxia, and the huge impact exploded and rippled away. In an instant, a land of thousands of miles shook the earth and mountains, with countless towering trees blocking and breaking. At the same time, between heaven and earth, it is also because of this huge impact that a huge cloud of smoke and dust rises, blocking the sky and sun. This made it impossible for people to see the situation there, and everyone was worried. When the smoke and dust dispersed from the sky, Yang Jian still stood firm, and everyone couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Although Yang Jian looked quite disheveled, he was still full of fighting spirit. Come again. Yang Jian roared angrily, looking up at the impending calamity. Boom! The second calamity fell, and Yang Jian still rushed forward unstoppably. In this way, Yang Jian was fearless all the way and soon arrived at the fifth heavenly calamity. At this moment, the 12 golden immortals were in the distance, staring blankly. This son is really a demon. Tai Zhenren spoke softly, already knowing the strength of Yang Jian. I never expected him to be so strong. This opening left others amazed. Not bad, not bad. Yang Jian's talent is really unheard of. If he doesn't fall this time, he will definitely be a Deluo Jin Xian in the future. Deluo Jin Xian. If we can survive this Zixiao heavenly calamity, perhaps even the quasi-saint can be fought for. The 12 golden immortals have lived a long time and witnessed countless talented figures. But now, seeing this Yang Jian, one cannot help but sigh. Even if all the past geniuses are brought out, they may not be comparable to the Yang Jian in front of them. If Yang Jian successfully crosses the tribulation today, his future prospects will definitely be limitless. After all, this is the first genius to trigger the Zixiao heavenly calamity, how can we just talk about it? However, although Yang Jian was unstoppable all the way, he overcame many calamities. However, after all, this is the Zixiao heavenly robbery, which is far more powerful than ordinary heavenly robbery. Rao, with Yang Jian's incredible strength, is still scarred and quite shocking. Fortunately, Yang Jian's heart was full of war intent and he was completely fearless. Even though he was on the verge of collapse, he persisted until the 9th calamity. It's the 9th way. Everyone's heart was filled with a chill, staring intently at Yang Jian. Whether you succeed or fail, just watch the last moment. Everyone was calm and focused, no longer speaking, their gaze all focused on Yang Jian. Even if they admire Yang Jian immensely, they are not sure if he can survive this last calamity. After all, this last heavenly calamity is too powerful, almost the sum of the previous 8 heavenly calamities. At this moment, Yang Jian's figure was unsteady, his steps were unsteady, as if he would collapse in the wind. Is this the last moment? Yang Jian watched as countless calamity clouds gathered in the sky and divine thunder surged, knowing that this was the last moment. Yang Jian was extremely clear that the power of this last heavenly calamity would far exceed that of the previous one. This is the final moment, the moment that determines success or failure. Okay, let me use my true abilities. Yang Jian thought so in his heart that he had already activated his divine power. The next moment. Under the gaze of everyone, Yang Jian's forehead suddenly shone brightly. Immediately after, a golden eye slowly emerged in the golden light. It's the heavenly eye. Immediately after, the golden light flowed in those eyes, and in an instant, there was another shining divine light. The next moment. The pupils in the eyes gradually turned into double pupils, which were incredibly strange. At this moment, in the heavenly eye, the heavy pupils are deep, intertwined with countless runes, like an unknown abyss, making people sink and unable to extricate themselves. Chapter 6. Breaking the heavenly calamity with double eyes and entering the immortal realm. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. What kind of divine power is this? Seeing Yang Jian's eyes appear above his forehead, with deep and heavy pupils, the dense runes are even more awe-inspiring, and a sense of shock arises naturally. The 12 golden immortals were all shocked. The heavenly eye technique is nothing, as long as your cultivation is strong enough, it is enough to activate it. Yang Jian's talent is so strong that it is only natural for him to be able to open the heavenly eye, which is not too surprising. However, looking at the celestial eye on Yang Jian's forehead at this moment, all 12 golden immortals felt terrifying. The breath emanating from the deep heavy pupils made them all involuntarily feel a sense of fear. You should know that they are the 12 golden immortals of Taoism, and their cultivation is strong enough. But when I looked at that day's eyes, there was actually a moment of panic. Even in just a moment, it is already enough to shock people. Others looked at Yuding Immortal one after another, thinking that this was the secret technique that Yuding Immortal had taught Yang Jian. Yuding Immortal shook his head slightly. He didn't even know such a divine ability, let alone impart it to him. I don't know how Yang Jian, who didn't leave home, comprehended this divine power of the heavenly eye that surprised one of the 12 golden immortals. Yang Jian's nephew, this name of genius truly lives up to its name. I have to admit it. After living for so many years, we still can't compare to Yang Jian in this matter. It seems that Yang Jian's nephew has successfully crossed the tribulation this time, which is highly likely. Although it was unclear how Yang Jian acquired this strange supernatural ability, everyone was amazed. I am even happier now. With such a powerful divine power, Yang Jian's situation of crossing the tribulation has stabilized. As he spoke, the 9th calamity had already been brewing, and with unparalleled power, he descended towards Yang Jian. Faced with this last calamity, Yang Jian did not rise up like he did just now, but directly broke through it with force. He stood in the same place, letting the brilliant calamity fall straight like thunder, motionless like a mountain. Break it for me. As the heavenly calamity was about to fall on Yang Jian's head, he roared and spoke. In an instant. In the eyes of the sky on the forehead, heavy pupils burst out. In an instant, countless golden lights gushed out like a tide, rushing towards that heavenly calamity. Boom! As soon as the golden light touched the heavenly calamity, it exploded in an instant, and the light shone brightly, illuminating the entire vast expanse of heaven and earth, shining brightly in an instant. Two forces collide and cancel each other out, constantly entangled in mid-air, with an astonishing power. In the end, the continuous golden light of the heavy pupils shot out from Yang Jian's heavenly eyes, quickly overwhelming the dazzling heavenly calamity. Boom! With a loud bang, the last purple sky calamity was finally completely shattered by the golden light of the heavy pupils. Yang Jian has completely overcome the calamity. Haha! After today, Yang Jian will break away from the mundane world and become a fairy. My fate will be determined by me, not by heaven. Yang Jian held up to the sky, feeling incredibly exhilarating. Immediately after, the thunder and clouds in the sky quickly dissipated. Instead, auspicious clouds blossomed in the sky, and countless rays of light, with a huge immortal aura, also fell towards Yang Jian. This is the power of the heavenly descent source after crossing the tribulation. Yang Jian is not unfamiliar with this, as it is a gift from the heavenly way after successfully crossing the tribulation. After successfully crossing the tribulation, one not only needs to become an immortal, but also needs to absorb this endless immortal energy, promote immortality, and stabilize the realm. In this way, it is the complete success of crossing the calamity. So, as he watched the light fall, Yang Jian had no resistance and let it surge towards him. In an instant, Yang Jian was submerged in endless light. Immediately after, Yang Jian, who was in the midst of the light, began to burst out in cultivation. My own momentum is also constantly rising, and my realm rises again and again. The early, middle, and late stages of Dixian. In the early, middle, and late stages of the heavenly immortals. In the end, Yang Jian's realm was completely stabilized in the later stage of the antenna. Countless immortal chi entered the body and began to nourish Yang Jian. As soon as you step into the heavenly immortal realm, not only the 12 golden immortals, but even the disciple of the sect was shocked to see this scene from afar. The 12 golden immortals were even more stunned at the moment. Yang Jian's nephew has stepped into the heavenly immortal realm, he is really amazing. Indeed, the genius of demons cannot be measured by common sense. Yuding Jr. Brother, do you want to discuss and hand over your disciple to me? Everyone was amazed. Ordinary people are fortunate enough to be able to cross the tribulation and become immortals. But as soon as Yang Jian stepped into the heavenly immortal realm, it was truly terrifying. But it's also right to think about it. After all, Yang Jian just crossed the purple sky calamity. Since Daozu Hongjun established the heavenly calamity, this is the first time that the Zixiao heavenly calamity has descended into the wilderness. It is only natural for such talent to enter the realm of immortality. At this moment, Yang Jian felt the change in himself and was also very happy in his heart. I didn't expect to be able to step into the heavenly immortal realm. I was so overjoyed. However, what pleased Yang Jian the most was far from the improvement of this realm. Yang Jian's biggest achievement this time was that his double pupils had evolved into the purple sky double pupils under the purple sky calamity. At this moment, within Yang Jian's heavy pupils, there was a massive purple sky thunder. You should know, this is an existence that even a saint can injure. Chapter 7. 12 Golden Immortals Giving Gifts, 3 Transformations of Golden Pills. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So, this Zixiao's heavy pupils, without any accidents, are my biggest trump card from now on. Yang Jian was overjoyed. After crossing the tribulation and stabilizing his realm, he looked around and quickly saw the Jade Ding Immortal. Yang Jian dared not neglect, put away his excited mood, and quickly flew down to the side of the Jade Ding Immortal. Without saying a word, Yang Jian directly prostrated himself in front of the Jade Ding Immortal. Thank you, Master, for your guidance and cultivation over the years. Yang Jian's ability to break free from vulgarity and achieve the immortal position today is a gift from Master. Master, please accept Yang Jian's bow. Yang Jian said as he heavily kowtowed to the Jade Ding Immortal. Being able to cross the tribulation and become an immortal today is undoubtedly greatly aided by the system. However, it was the master in front of him who led him into this cultivation gate. Yang Jian was full of gratitude towards the Jade Ding Immortal. Okay. Yuding Immortal has a happy smile on his face. This disciple is not only talented, but also has always been respectful to himself. Especially in front of the other members of the 12 Golden Immortals, this made Yuding Zhenren feel twice as proud. Master, this is... Yang Jian also noticed that many people were standing next to the Jade Ding Immortal and asked. After all, for so many years, he has either been practicing in seclusion or preparing for seclusion, always living in seclusion and never leaving the realm of Yuchuan Mountain. So, naturally, apart from my own master, I have never seen any other disciples of elucidation. Now as he watched these people gather around his master, the Jade Ding Immortal, with their eyes fixed on him, Yang Jian was naturally puzzled. Why did so many people suddenly appear? Who are these all? Speaking of this, the smile on the face of Yuding Immortal grew stronger, and he felt immensely honored. Disciple, you made too much noise while crossing the tribulation today, even your senior uncle and uncle were alarmed. Master Uncle. Yang Jian was taken aback and said, could it be that? Not bad. These senior uncles and uncles are the other people who are known as the 12 Golden Immortals along with me. Yuding Zhenren began to introduce Yang Jian. Here, let me introduce you to the disciple. This is the eldest disciple of the Chan sect, Master Guangchengzi. This is your red sperm master. The Jade Ding Immortal pointed at the 12 Golden Immortals and introduced them to Yang Jian one by one. Huanglong Zhenren, Fearless Son, Taiyi Zhenren, Lingbao Grand Master, Wenshu Guangfa Tianzuan, Puxian Zhenren, Sihang Daoren, Daoxing Tianzuan, Qingshu Dao Dao Zhenjuan, and so on. Yang Jian listened while bowing to these senior uncles and uncles. After the introduction of the Jade Ding Immortal was completed, Yang Jian took a step back and bowed deeply to these 11 Golden Immortals, paying homage. My nephew Yang Jian, I have met all the senior uncles and uncles here. The other members of the 12 Golden Immortals looked at this disciple's attitude with admiration. This Yang Jian not only has exceptional talent, but also is meticulous in his dealings with others. He shows great respect to his senior uncles and uncles. Yang Jian's nephew is truly a genius. Today, he triggered the Xiao heavenly calamity, which also broadened our horizons. It has to be said that junior brother Yuding's vision for accepting disciples is really high, and we also deeply admire it. Not bad, such masters and disciples complement each other, envy others. Guang Qingzi and others praised Yang Jian endlessly, showing their appreciation. Hey, senior brothers and sisters, today is a great day for Yang Jian's nephew to become an immortal. As senior uncles and uncles, we cannot just praise him verbally. At this moment, Tai Jinren became increasingly pleased with Yang Jian and spoke up. Speaking, he had already taken out a spiritual treasure from the day after tomorrow and used his magic to push it to Yang Jian's side. Yang Jian's nephew, I didn't expect you to cross the tribulation and become an immortal today. There's no time to prepare any gifts. I'll give you this postnatal spirit treasure to play with. Yang Jian looked at the postnatal spirit treasure in front of him. Although he was quite tempted, he still held down his excitement and didn't go to pick it up immediately. Yang Jian looked up at the Jade Immortal, who nodded. Since the senior uncles and uncles have gifted it to you, please accept it. Yes. Yang Jian was overjoyed and took the posthumous spiritual treasure. Others nodded repeatedly when they saw this. This Yang Jian's reverence for his teachers is ingrained in his bones, not superficial, which makes them appreciate it even more. At present, others are also sending their own congratulatory gifts to congratulate Yang Jian on crossing the calamity and becoming an immortal. After all, the talent and heroic demeanor exhibited by Yang Jian today has a faint momentum of being the first disciple to explain and teach for 3 generations. By befriending him at this time, one can not only show their respect for him, but also pave the way for their disciples to establish a good relationship with Yang Jian in the future. Although they are all some elixirs and acquired spiritual treasures, and their grades may not be too advanced, they are already rare treasures for Yang Jian, who has just become an immortal. Yang Jian happily finished one by one, constantly thanking his senior uncle and uncle, feeling deeply moved in his heart. Sure enough, having a bunch of senior uncles and uncles is good. After only a while of hard work, my gains are already comparable to the foundation of a small cultivation sect. When it came to Guang Qingzi, Yang Jian was filled with anticipation in his heart. I don't know if Master Guang Qingzi will give a gift to his own sect. Yang Jian thought to himself, after all, Guang Qingzi was the head of the 12 Golden Immortals. Others also gathered their eyes to see how Guang Qingzi was giving gifts this time. Between them, Guang Qingzi used his magic to push a pill towards Yang Jian. This is 3 turns of the golden elixir. The others of the 12 golden immortals were all shocked, looking at the pill emitting a faint light. The 3 transformations golden pill is a treasure refined by the Supreme Sage, with infinite power. Even if it was for the 12 golden immortals, it would be very beneficial. How could Guang Qingzi be so generous and give it directly to Yang Jian? Senior brother, is your gift too valuable? The Jade Immortal said, the 3 transformations of the golden elixir is far more precious than what he obtained for Yang Jian in the Xuandu. It's a world of difference. It's okay. Guang Qingzi waved his hand and said, my nephew Yang Jian is a genius in my teachings, and he will surely become the backbone of my teachings in the future. Although this golden pill is precious, it is far less meaningful than Yang Jian's teachings. Chapter 8. Your little frog has brought back its specialty again. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Upon hearing that the pill in front of Yang Jian was the 3 transformations golden pill refined by the Supreme Sage, his heart was moved by it. The reputation of the Supreme Sage is known to everyone in the wilderness, and he is truly the first saint. The most well-known one is his extraordinary alchemy ability, which leads all sentient beings in the wilderness by 1 yuan. Among these pills, especially the 9 transformations golden pill, which is the most famous, is a treasure that can be encountered but not sought after. Even though the 3-turn golden pill in front of him was equivalent to a shortened version of the 9-turn golden pill, Yang Jian dared not underestimate it. He knows the preciousness of this pill, no less than any spiritual treasure. Even compared to the pile of gifts given by these senior uncles and uncles just now, this small 3-turn golden pill has already suppressed them. These gifts combined may not necessarily be as precious as a 3-turn golden pill. Now that I have crossed the tribulation and become an immortal, entering the realm of immortals, it is impossible for me to improve as quickly as before. Yang Jian quickly pondered in his heart that after becoming an immortal, the difficulty of cultivation increased, and he could no longer sprint on the path of promotion like before. So at this point, it is necessary to rely on the help of that day's materials and treasures. If I could have the help of these 3 transformations of the golden elixir, I have confidence in breaking through here. With such contemplation in his heart, Yang Jian looked at the 3 turns of the golden pill. Although he didn't pick it up immediately, his eager gaze couldn't be hidden. At the same time, he sighed and said that Guang Qingzi truly deserves to be the senior brother of the Chan sect. He was so generous with his first move. Seeing Yang Jian's restless expression, Guang Qingzi laughed heartily. "You're welcome, nephew. Just accept this item." As he spoke, he ignored the desire of the Jade Ding Immortal and stopped speaking. In the envy of everyone's eyes, he used his magic to deliver the 3 turning golden pills directly to Yang Jian's arms. Yang Jian was overjoyed, and at the moment, he didn't hesitate to take it directly into his pocket. "Thank you so much, senior uncle. Your nephew is immensely grateful. Whenever there is anything in the future, Yang Jian will definitely not refuse." After Yang Jian's subordinate Jin Dan, he suppressed his ecstatic mood and bowed to Guang Qingzi to thank him. As the senior brother of the Chan sect, Guang Qingzi naturally does not lack such treasures. However, Yang Jian was very grateful for such a treasure and generously giving it to his first meeting nephew. Seeing Yang Jian's appearance, he didn't lose his pride. Instead, he thanked himself immediately, and Guang Qingzi nodded repeatedly. "Yang Jian, your talent is extraordinary and your strength is extraordinary. With these 3 transformations of the golden elixir in your hands, you will definitely be able to play a greater role. I hope you can take this opportunity to take it to the next level and bring glory to my teachings." Guang Qingzi looked at Yang Jian and spoke with encouragement. The 3 transformations golden pill is certainly precious and of great use to oneself. However, what is given to Yang Jian at this moment is more valuable than what is used on oneself. There is no doubt that the talent and skills displayed by Yang Jian at this moment, as long as he does not fall halfway and any accidents occur, he will definitely become a earth-shattering figure in the future. This future star, as he just said, is the backbone of the future of elucidation. Now that I am giving him the golden elixir, I also have a positive outlook on him and want to give him a helping hand. Moreover, judging from Yang Jian's demeanor, he is respectful and courteous. Whether it is towards his master, the Jade Ding Immortal, or his group of martial uncles and uncles, he always abides by his duty as a junior. It is even more rare for such a genius to possess such an attitude. If I send him the elixir now, he will surely feel grateful for his kindness and help himself in the future to maintain his position in preaching. So much for one move, just giving away a 3-turn golden pill. It's really a good thing to make a steady profit without losing. After sending out the 3 transformations of the golden pill, Guang Qingzi also looked at the 12 golden immortals. Ladies and gentlemen, martial nephew Yang Jian has just broken through, and it is time for the seclusion to stabilize. Don't disturb us, will you? Guang Qingzi spoke the truth, and everyone had no objection. They all bid farewell to the Jade Ding Immortal. Yang Jian is here to bid farewell to all the senior uncles and uncles. Yang Jian clasped his fists and saluted the 12 golden immortals, showing utmost respect from beginning to end, which made everyone even more amazed and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. How did the Jade Immortal receive such a good disciple? After everyone left, Yang Jian also bid farewell to the Jade Immortal. Master, I am preparing to practice in seclusion and stabilize my realm. Okay. Go ahead. You gave me a good face today. The Jade Immortal waved his hand with great joy. Yang Jian bid farewell and left, practicing in seclusion to stabilize his current cultivation. That's it. 1 year later. Ding. Your little frog has brought back a specialty. The system prompt suddenly sounded, making Yang Jian instantly wake up. Has the little frog come back again? Yang Jian was pleasantly surprised, not knowing where it had gone and what it had brought back to him. So he paused his practice and began to examine the little frog's backpack. A pill. After searching for it, Yang Jian found a pill and was puzzled. After running for so long, did you only bring back one pill? Hurry up and check the introduction now. Xiantian Dan. Amazing power, capable of changing the feet of living beings and transforming postnatal beings into innate beings. What? Yang Jian was shocked after reading the brief introduction of the few crosses. This pill is so magical that it can be changed to a different foot. Chapter 9. Bloodline Awakening and Evolution. Seeking fresh flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Follow your footsteps. Those familiar with the system of the flood and wilderness know the importance of following one's footsteps for a flood and wilderness creature. A good follower can make the practitioner's talent far exceed that of other creatures, achieving twice the result with half the effort in cultivation, leaving other creatures far behind and standing out on the path of cultivation. This is the key to cultivation, endowing a living being with a natural talent for cultivation. Moreover, it not only affects the innate talent of cultivation, but also determines the upper limit of future cultivation. If there is no good enough follower, even if the spiritual cultivation and understanding of the living beings are good, the end of the road will come earlier than those who have good followers. How many talented individuals, relying on their own intelligence and hard work, have shown unparalleled postures? Are you still limited by your background and sighing at the end of the main road? Not to mention anything else, but when it comes to the three cleanliness of the vast and desolate world, it is incredibly powerful and has been transformed by the Pangu Yuanshan. This made Sanqing, as soon as he was born, possess the amazing cultivation of the great Luo Golden Immortal. However, most of these innate creatures were born during the period from the beginning of the world to the time before the Lich Wars. After the Lich Wars, due to the limitations of the heavenly way, the birth of innate beings has become increasingly rare. At this moment, Yang Jian looked at the innate pill in his hand, at the brief introduction of the few crosses, but it seemed to see a bright future. I didn't expect Little Frog to reap such a huge harvest on this trip, doing a great job. Yang Jian was pleasantly surprised and immediately took this innate pill. Since we want to change our ways, of course, the faster the better. Boom. With a pair of innate pills, a huge aura suddenly burst out, rising from Yang Jian's body and piercing into the sky. At this moment, the cave where Yang Jian is located is a masterpiece of light, and everything around it shines brightly. This is. As the owner of Yuchuan Mountain, Yuding Immortal is connected by a mountain protection formation, and naturally has control over Yuchuan Mountain at will. At this moment, such changes have already been perceived for the first time. What's wrong with Yang Jian? The Jade Immortal looked at the place where Yang Jian was, wondering in his heart, isn't Yang Jian practicing well in seclusion? With doubts and worries in his heart, the Jade Immortal disappeared instantly and appeared in Yang Jian's cave. As far as I could see, Yang Jian's entire cave was filled with divine light and extraordinary wonders. What's going on? At this moment, the Jade Immortal couldn't care about the strange phenomena inside the cave, and his eyes were fixed on Yang Jian in front of him. At this moment, Yang Jian was tightly wrapped in a bloody aura. On top of that bloody aura, countless powerful forces were circulating endlessly, with astonishing power. The Jade Immortal looked at Yang Jian's calm demeanor and didn't know what had happened, so he didn't dare to act rashly. I saw the blood-colored aura circulating faster and faster, and in the end, I couldn't see Yang Jian inside, as if he had been completely devoured. Yuding Immortal was anxious in his heart and was preparing to take action to rescue his disciple. At this moment, boom! The bloody aura suddenly erupted, and the powerful aura rippled away. Yuding Immortal almost fell, staring blankly at Yang Jian's figure slowly emerging. This. The Jade Immortal looked at Yang Jian in shock. Innate creatures. Yuding Immortal rubbed his eyes. Isn't he a postnatal being? Why have you become a congenital creature now? I've met Master. Yang Jian didn't care to check his own changes and quickly bowed to the Jade Immortal. Get up, get up. The Jade Immortal waved his hand to signal Yang Jian to get up, and then eagerly asked. Tuer, are you here? Yang Jian couldn't have imagined that after taking that innate pill, he would cause such a big battle. Fortunately, he had already figured out a plan to deal with the matter of changing his life attendance. At present, he remained calm and answered calmly. This should be my Bloodline Awakening Evolution. Bloodline Awakening Evolution. Yuding Immortal widened his eyes. Isn't he just a mortal born after birth? Where can one awaken and evolve again? At most, it is an innate human race. The innate human race was the first group of humans when Nuwa created humans. Even they cannot be considered as innate beings. This Yang Jian is just an acquired human race, how could he suddenly become an innate creature? Looking at the disbelief on Yuding's face, Yang Jian didn't panic either. He knew it wasn't easy to fool him, but he had already considered it. Master, you don't know anything. Yang Jian spoke softly, his tone quite dim. Master, my mother is the current ruler of the heavenly court and Haotian's younger sister, Fairy Yaoji. I am now shedding half human and half immortal blood. Speaking of which, Yang Jian looked thoughtful. Perhaps it was due to the purple sky calamity that day that my bloodline evolved, right? Jade Emperor's sister. In the following words, Yuding Zhenren basically didn't listen much and had already grasped the key point in an instant. I didn't expect my disciple's background to be so and so. Yuding Immortal was extremely surprised. He couldn't believe that his disciple was actually the child born to Yaoji Fairy after falling in love with mortals in the mortal world. As for Yaoji's descent to the mortal world, he has also heard of it. However, what I never expected was that my disciple Yang Jian would be the son left behind by Yaoji in the mortal world. Chapter 10. The Sound of the Jade Void Bell. The Primordial Heavenly Sovereign's lecture begins. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Yuding Immortal was shocked by Yang Jian's background. He no longer hesitated about whether it was innate or acquired. After all, Yang Jian's mother was the younger sister of the Jade Emperor, the Fairy Yaoji. With the stimulation of the purple sky thunder, Yang Jian awakened and evolved his own bloodline. In the current era where innate beings are almost extinct, although it is surprising enough, it cannot compare to Yang Jian's background at all. Watching Yang Jian's face look quite gloomy at this moment, Yuding Zhenren couldn't help but feel guilty in his heart. I haven't really asked about this disciple's background or cared about his past. At this moment, seeing Yang Jian so ashamed, I couldn't help but feel a little heartbroken and quickly spoke out to comfort him. Don't be afraid, disciple. Don't worry. Since you have worshipped my jade cauldron as your teacher, you have become a disciple of my teachings. No matter how Haotian is, he dare not trouble you again. Yuding Zhenren comforted Yang Jian, encouraging him to step out of his inner shadow and embrace a better future. After all, Yao Qi descended to the mortal world without permission and gave birth to offspring, which naturally made Haotian feel ashamed. I heard that the Yaoji fairy has already been suppressed under the Peach Mountain. Despite being so cruel to his younger sister, Haotian naturally wouldn't show mercy towards the offspring she gave birth to. No wonder when I met Yang Jian back then, he was so down and out, obviously being chased by heavenly soldiers and generals. However, since Yang Jian is now his disciple and a disciple of the sect, he will protect him no matter what he says. It's just a Haotian, and Zhanjiao is really not afraid of him. On the surface, worshipping him as the Lord of the Wilderness is just to save face for Daozu Hongjun. Speaking of Ali, if it weren't for Daozu's power to exclude public opinions, I don't know whose family the position of the heavenly court lord would have fallen into. After all, when the saints gathered at Xixiao Palace, they also had their own choices for the lord of the heavenly court. At the beginning, our master, the heavenly lord, recommended our master brother, Guang Qingzi. If it weren't for the last act of the Taoist ancestor, now the lord of the heavenly court might have been senior brother Guang Qingzi. Yang Jian's expression was quite gloomy at the moment, not just pretending. After all, I have traveled through time and inherited the experience of Yang Jian in the wilderness, as well as accepted his emotional thoughts. I still have emotions in my heart towards the family I remember. At this moment, hearing the words of Yuding also warmed my heart, and I nodded gratefully. At this moment, a figure appeared here. Yuding Immortal and Yang Jian looked at the figure with great solemnity. Yang Jian's background is of great significance, so we cannot let others listen. However, after seeing the appearance of the newcomer clearly, both Yang Jian and Yuding breathed a sigh of relief. I've seen senior brother. I have met Master Guang Qingzi. Yuding and Yang Jian bowed one after another. The person who came here is Guang Qingzi. Since the day of the Xixiao heavenly calamity, Guang Qingzi has seen Yang Jian's talent and strength, and has looked at him with a different eye. He has been paying attention to the changes in Yichuan Mountain. Just now, I saw changes in Yichuan Mountain and hurriedly came over. At this moment, seeing that both Yuding and Yang Jian were safe and sound, he also breathed a sigh of relief. Get up, there's no need to. Ha! Guang Qingzi greeted Yuding and Yang Jian, but suddenly felt that Yang Jian's situation was not right. Staring intently, he was amazed. Yang Jian, what are you doing? Guang Qingzi felt incredulous. When did Yang Jian become an innate creature? Senior brother, this matter is a long story. Yuding sighed and couldn't help but sigh. Subsequently, he revealed Yang Jian's background and current events one by one. I see. Guang Qingzi suddenly realized, so Yang Jian's nephew has such a background. Don't worry, as your master said, you are a disciple of Taoism, and Taoism can protect you. Guang Qingzi spoke up, indicating that Yang Jian did not need to worry about his background, followed by joy. Bloodline evolution is a great opportunity. Yang Jian, the nephew of the martial arts school, is indeed blessed with a deep fortune. He truly deserves to be my disciple of teaching. At a time when it is difficult for innate beings to be born, this is extremely rare. Originally, Yang Jian's talent was already incredibly powerful. Now that he has gained the support of innate beings, his future prospects are limitless. Yang Jian's nephew is a genius in my preaching, a great opportunity for my preaching. Guang Qingzi nodded repeatedly, admiring Yang Jian even more. Undoubtedly, he is a talent that he values. Yang Jian did not disappoint his expectations. After admiring Yang Jian, Guang Qingzi and Yuding also spoke softly. Since everyone has come today, why don't we have a discussion with our junior brother? Okay. The Jade Ding Immortal responded and turned his head to command Yang Jian. Today I am discussing the Tao with my master. If you pause your cultivation and listen to the Tao for a while, it will also be of great benefit to you. Yang Jian nodded in response to the words. At present, Guang Qingzi and Yuding sat cross-legged, discussing the Tao. Yang Jian also sat down on the side, listening to the two of them discussing. After all, the experiences and insights of these elders are readily available, which can be of great help to oneself and can also be integrated into future cultivation. So, time passed by in a blink of an eye. The debate between Guangchengzi and Yuding lasted for 10 years. Boom. As the two of them approached the end of their discourse, Yang Jian's cultivation also broke through unconsciously, and he jumped into the realm of true immortals. Guangchengzi and Yuding were also extremely surprised and stopped. Yang Jian's nephew's talent is really rare in his life. Yeah, even as a master, I feel embarrassed. Guangchengzi and Yuding praised him endlessly, once again shaken by Yang Jian's talent. Ding! At this moment, suddenly, a bell rang through the Kunlun mountains and reached the ears of Guangchengzi, Yuding and Yang Jian, making it incredibly loud.